It seems that after their great success as a song and dance team, a television producer signed them to appear on a new Western show called Moonsmoke. Everything went well until the last scene in the show.
Gee whiz, Marshal Moon. Here comes the Crater Kid now.
Something you wanted, Crater?
Yep, I'm calling your bluff, Marshal. Draw!
Cloyd drew, all right, but unfortunately fired his scrooch gun directly at the camera. As a result, the entire television audience was frozen solid. All over the country, people were literally glued in front of the television sets. The Late, 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 Late Show had its biggest audience ever.
Gee, then what happened?
Our show is canceled.
How come?
With an audience that couldn't move away from their sets, they didn't need shows.
You mean?
Yep. Now they're showing nothing but commercials.
I'm not so sure I want to go home, Rock.
Oh, it's probably fixed by now, Bullwinkle. Besides, we gotta take back this mooseberry bush.
Mooseberry bush?
You found the last one in the world.
We can make our rocket fuel.
We can get back to the moon.
Oh, you're just our favorite Earth people.
Well, I really plan to give this bush to our government.
Give it to
your government?
But that means we'll never get back to the moon.
No, we'll never see the old home crater again.
No more sitting in the porch in the evening, watching the Earth come up.
Gee, fellas, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right, Rocky. You have your duty to do.
Golly, Bullwinkle, I just feel terrible about Gidney and Cloyd.
Yeah, suppose we were on the moon and couldn't get back.
Yeah. Bullwinkle, I'm gonna do it.
Good. What?
Bullwinkle, I'm gonna send Gidney and Cloyd back to the moon.
And let down the entire U.S. of A?
No, wait. I got a plan. But first we have to get back home.
Well, that was easier said than done, for at that moment their nemesis, Boris Badenov, was receiving his latest set of instructions right across the head.
So you have failed again, Badenov.
But fearless leader, the snowman
You
was
left your post.
100 feet high.
Deserted in face of enemy.
3 sets of teeth.
Didn't get mooseberries.
All shot.
Didn't get rid of moose and squirrel.
Like razor blade. Hit me with that last one again.
Didn't get rid of moose and squirrel.
But we did.
Boris.
Shut up, Natasha.
You got rid of moose and squirrel?
Would I forget such a thing? I might be coward, turncoat, double-crosser, but I'm not sloppy.
They are kaput?
Of course.
But Boris.
Natasha, we left them with snowmen. What do you think happened to them? That's right.
If moose and squirrel were still alive, your life wouldn't be worth a plugged kopeck.
Of course.
Good job, Badenov. Have cigar.
Thank you, fearless leader.
You can call me FL.
And the triumphant Boris and Natasha made their way to the exit of the underground headquarters of Central Control.
Push up manhole cover, darling.
I can't. Somebody's standing on it.
Hey, you got the hiccups, Bullwinkle?
No, must be an earthquake.
Boris, you hear that?
Is the moose that indestructible nitwit?
Something wrong, Badenov?
No, not at all, FL.
Then open manhole.
Is somebody standing on it? Let's wait till later, eh? How about next summer?
Out of way, Badenov. I open it.
And open it he did, for at that time Bullwinkle was no longer standing on the cover.
This is your idea of joke, Badenov?
Of course not, FL.
Fearless leader to you, Badenov.
Yes, fearless leader.
And give me my cigar.
And the head of the spy ring made his exit, leaving a badly shaken Boris.
What's going to happen if he sees moose and squirrel alive?
Well, you're in hot water again, darling.
I'm always in hot water. I'm beginning to feel like teabag. Oh, Natasha, why I couldn't be a successful villain?
Cheer up, Boris. To me, you will always be a dirty, double-crossing skunk.
Oh, Natasha, you always know the right thing to say.
Meanwhile, our heroes were having their own troubles.
We want 4 tickets on the first boat leaving Pennsylvania.
All right, what's so doggone hilarious?
You crazy fools! Everybody wants to leave Pennsylvania.
Sure enough, every dock, airport, and train station was simply jammed with people trying to get out of Pennsylvania. And they were all ahead of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Doggone it, first they say Yankee go home, then they won't let us leave.
Why do all these people want to leave?
Why are you going?
Well, let's be nice and say we just despise the place.
So do they.
Well, when's the next train leave?
Hard to tell.
Why?
Somebody stole the tracks.
Gee, this looks bad, Rocky.
You mean we're stuck here in Pennsylvania?
Gee, how are we ever gonna get out?
Look there. That's how.
Tick-tock taxi company, 2 drivers, no waiting.
Oh, boy, a taxi cab. Quick, climb in. I wonder why they call this the Tick-Tock Taxi Company.
Rocky wouldn't have asked if he'd been able to see under the back seat, for the entire rear of the taxi was one big time bomb. Oh, who could have played such a fiendish trick on our friend?
2 guesses.
Well, it looks as if Boris and Natasha are really in the driver's seat at last.
But not for long.
How come we're stopping, Rocky?
I don't know. Hey, what's the trouble?
We got split king bolt in manifold housing.
That's bad?
Bad. If we don't get a new one, we'll strip the sleeve bushing right down to the gasket seal.
Yeah, that happened to an uncle of mine once.
Well, how long will it take to get a new one?
All depends, but don't worry. You won't have to wait long. Come on, Spike.
And the 2 spies sped off down the road, leaving our friends gathered around that highly explosive taxi.
Hey, what's that ticking sound?
Must be the taxi meter.
What taxi meter?
Oh, come now, Gidney. Every taxi has a meter.
Not this one.
Of course it does. And we gotta turn it off.
Yeah, or this ride'll cost us a fortune.
Must be here somewhere.
It's not in front, Bullwinkle.
Not in here either.
When it goes off, Boris.
Any second now.
It's not underneath, Rocky.
Not in the trunk, neither.
But I can still hear it ticking.
Well, I give up.
Bullwinkle, look out!
Too late. Bullwinkle's weight had started the taxi running back down the road, and as our friends watched, it careened out of sight behind a hill. An instant later, there was a tremendous explosion, followed by a cloud of black smoke, followed by Boris and Natasha.
Bullwinkle, the taxi cab exploded. You know what that means?
Yeah, it means we'll never know how much we owe.
No, it means somebody's out to get us.
But why? We haven't done anything.
Maybe that's the trouble.
Well, anyway, we're stuck here in Pennsylvania again.
Not necessarily, Rocky. Look there.
Sure enough, a little farther ahead, a sentry stood guard beside a barrier that stretched across the road.
Oh, boy, a railroad station.
No, Bullwinkle, that's the border.
I was wondering where the tracks were. But who's that feller with the gun?
That's a sentry.
Boy, he sure needs a haircut.
That's his hat.
Well, he certainly has a tall head.
You Moomin got your papers ready?
We don't need any, Rocky.
Everybody needs papers to cross Pennsylvania border. Lots and lots of papers.
Not us.
Why not you?
'Cause we're not in Pennsylvania.
You're not?
No, we're across the border.
Hey, you couldn't do that.
But we just did.
Well, maybe you did, but your friends stay here permanent.
And the angry sentry raised his rifle and pointed it directly at our heroes.
Hey, now, that thing might be loaded.
Might be. Is loaded.
Stand back, Rocky. I'll protect you. Oh, they got me. Goodbye, Rocky.
Where you going?
I'm going west. Where do you think?
Yeah, but you weren't hurt.
I'm not?
No, look.
Sure enough, on the other side of the border stood Cloyd, the Moon Man, with his trusty Scrooch gun.
Well, somebody got hit.
Sure, look.
It's the sentry. He's been scrooched. Froze solid.
Yep.
Come on, Rocky.
What about Vladimir here?
Oh, he'll be all right as soon as he gets unscrewed.
Well, how long will that be?
About 90 minutes.
Cloyd, that says years.
Oh, so it does. Well, that's certainly one on me.
Yeah, but what do we do with Vladimir?
Just stand him up. Who's gonna notice whether a sentry is scrooched or not?
Sure enough, Vladimir remained motionless at his post from that moment on, and he was very happy. Tourists came to have their pictures taken with him. He was written up in Crime, a Potsylvanian weekly news magazine, and he served as a model for every sentry in the Potsylvanian army. Eventually, he was promoted to general, retired, and spent his declining years in his old hometown where he became known as the pigeon's best friend. Yes, there was no doubt Vladimir was for the birds. But back to our story.
About time, too.
Well, anyway, we're out of Pennsylvania with a mooseberry bush.
Yeah, let's get it back to the government right away.
Hey, look down there. A ship.
And it's headed our way.
But how are we going to get to it?
You forget, Rocky, we can just fade out here and fade in again down on the ship. Like this. Darn, missed it.
Fortunately, Cloyd's aim was better than Gidney's, and he was able to persuade the captain of the small freighter to pick up our heroes. A short while later, the good ship was steaming across the sea toward America.
Well, Bullwinkle, we're going home at last.
I wish we were.
But you are, Gidney.
Back to the moon?
You're giving us the bush?
You can't do that, Rock. This is government property.
Don't worry, Bullwinkle. I'm not going to give him the bush.
Then how the ding-dong you gonna get him home? Moon-wise, that is.
Look, Bullwinkle. Why does the government want a secret rocket fuel?
So's we can send a American to the moon.
Right. So my plan is obvious.
Well, certainly it's obvious, but what is it?
Simple. We'll make Americans out of Gidney and Cloyd.
And send them to the moon. Well, great. But how do we make Americans out of them? Paint them red, white, and blue?
Nope. I think I got a better way.
Rocky wouldn't have been so optimistic if he had known what was going on at that moment in a press meeting on Capitol Hill.
Just what does your new bill mean, Senator?
Well, you see, right now it's entirely too easy to become an American. This bill's gonna make it tougher.
Now, what do you mean it's easy, Senator?
Well, all you got to do is be born here. This large loophole has got to be plugged up. Too many people are claiming to be Americans. Alaskans, Hawaiians, Californians. It's disgraceful.
Senator acts to stop moon men.
We'll never get home again.
Nonsense. We're going to teach you to be Americans.
Yeah, time we get finished, you'll look as American as I do.
I'd really rather not.
Bring in our whole library of books, Bullwinkle.
Here they are, Rock. The Farmer's Almanac, the Bobbsey Twins at Camp Wahoo, and my personal bound volume of ghastly comics.
The boys set to work to convert the moon men, Gidney and Cloyd, into typical Americans. Unfortunately, their idea of what an American should know was rather limited.
Okay, Gidney. How many days in September?
30 days past September.
Right. Say, you're getting as smart as me.
How do you make fire without matches?
Rub two Boy Scouts together?
No.
Oh, sticks. Rub two sticks?
That's it. Well, Bullwinkle, I guess they're ready to become Americans.
Yep. Sorta gets you right in here, don't it?
Yeah, I'm just quietly proud.
But the next day in Senator Fussmussen's committee room, the moon men didn't make out so well.
If the president doesn't sign a bill, how many days before it becomes a law?
30 days past September, April, June, and November.
Apart from congressional action, how may a bill be introduced?
By rubbing two sticks together?
What?
How are they doing, Bullwinkle?
Oh, they're getting the answers perfect, Rock.
Good.
Only thing is, he keeps asking the wrong questions.
Sure enough, the two moon men were quickly ejected from the committee room, but they didn't seem at all unhappy.
Well, we made it. We'll never be able to thank you enough, Rocky.
What do you mean?
You flunked your exam, didn't you?
Oh, more than that.
Senator Fussmussen says we shouldn't even be allowed in the country.
Oh?
So guess what? He's deporting us.
Sending us back where we came from.
You mean the M-U-N-E moon?
That's right. And of course, there's only one way we can get there.
The mooseberry bush.
You're gonna go by bush? Sounds a little scratchy.
No, Bullwinkle. We'll use the mooseberry bush to make your secret rocket fuel.
Oh, of course. It's been so long, I almost forgot the plot. Well, let's go.
And within a few days, Bullwinkle had whipped up an exact duplicate of his Grandma Moose's fudge cake batter.
Just slip it in this blast chamber, Bullwinkle.
Right.
Of course, all official Washington turned out for the moon men's departure. Senator Fussmussen himself bade them goodbye.
Goodbye. Now close the hatch and blast off.
Right.
But when Bullwinkle slammed the hatch closed, he caught the tail of Senator Fussmussen's coat.
10, 9, 8,
What's this? My coat is caught.
6, 5, 4,
Well, take your coat off.
That wouldn't be dignified.
I got it.
3, 2,
Quickly, Rocky zoomed to the president's chair and whispered in his ear.
1, 0, fire.
Somebody do something.
Very well. Senator Fussmussen, I appoint you the new ambassador to the moon.
And as the crowd cheered, the spaceship bearing Gidney Cloyd and our first interplanetary diplomat zoomed upward and out of sight.
Well, Bullwinkle, you did it again.
Yeah, once the hero, always a hero, I guess.
You said it, Bullwinkle.
Didn't I, though?
And the boys trudged away from the airport and into a brand new adventure. Don't miss the beginning of it in the next chapter of Rocky, the Flying Squirrel.